for this?
All right, we are back once again. Clock on the wall says 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. It is Monday, July 11th. This year is flying by. That means it's time for another installment of Southern Nevada Sports News, coming to you from the Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corp.com studios here in Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Bill Miller. I'm co-host along with
Jeff Belknap.
And with us on the phone, we have the prognosticator himself extraordinaire, straight from Cleveland, George Jorge Mish. George, how you doing, buddy?
Yes, sir. Wonderful.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I'm doing fine, sir. I'm doing fine. Thanks for making time for us, as always.
I would do it any time.
Yeah, well, we
expect that.
Yeah, we
yes.
absolutely appreciate
the
that.
The rewards are far too easy to turn. I mean, not easy to turn down.
Oh, there you
anyway. We only have a few minutes here, so let's get into our stuff.
Well, we've got a jam-packed show, folks, and George has been kind enough to lend his time to us, especially since he's coming straight from Cleveland. And, George, we're at the halfway point officially because the All-Star game is tomorrow, the Home Run Derby tonight, and we thought we would talk about Major League Baseball at the halfway point.
Yes.
And, so, we're all big baseball fans, and I know that you're a Tribe fan, and I got to start with you and got to start with Cleveland. I mean, are you really surprised that they're sitting on top of the Central Division?
Of course I am. It's but I don't know how they're doing it with it. Well, they're doing it with starting pitching.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have a catcher that's 1 for 29 in this month, and a lot of old men playing baseball, but. Michael Brantley's supposedly coming back in a week or two, who is their best player, I believe, and so they're up 6.5 games, which is a lot of games in a mediocre division to catch up with. But this is Cleveland, so we shall see.
Yes.
Well, you've got, as you mentioned, you got 4 teams that are above 500.
Mm-hmm.
The defending champs, always a soft spot in my heart, the Kansas City Royals.
Yes.
Sitting right now 7 games back in 3rd place.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one that's always kind of a mystery to me, and I have to ask this. What happened to the Minnesota Twins? I mean, this is once used to be a very, very, proud franchise. Always kind of, never had the star power, but always got the absolute best out of their players. And
they still supposedly have the best minor league system, and they bring these guys up, but it's just their pitching is terrible. I mean,
horrendous. Well, when you start out 0-9, it puts you in a big hole.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But it's they just I don't know. They have no pitching, and I think who is Santana's their ace or something. I don't know what. With Ricky Nolasco, who is I don't know how this guy has ripped off the world. He's kind of like Charles Barkley said, Bill, when we were talking about off the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Well, I'm looking at these standings, and I think it might be jaded. You guys can't possibly play the Tigers every day. And,
no, but they beat us the last game.
Yeah, of course we did. Dominated you, by the way, 12-2.
And the Tigers are, they only have 39 home games played and 50 road games, so they do have that advantage. Also, the Red Sox have the same. So they have, it's going to be interesting, very interesting. Actually, the Red Sox are the other way around. I'm sorry. They got 50 home and 37 road.
Yeah, because it seems like every time I see the Red Sox on TV, they're at home.
Yes.
And I don't think that's a coincidence either.
Yeah.
No, it's going to even up, obviously, at the end of the year.
Well, it's also the Big Papi farewell tour. And let's talk about somebody who, maybe he spoke too soon when he said that this is his last year.
Yep.
He's as good as ever, isn't he?
Well, as one analyst said, 21 home runs and 70 RBIs. If this were September 1st, they would be saying, "Oh, that's not a bad way to go out."
Right.
But this is July 11th.
Yeah, he's cracking the ball.
Yeah, well, he's showing those young pups, in that. And I always got to root for the old fellas. He's showing those young pups, exactly what it means to be a veteran and exactly what it means to go out with a bang. But
then you look at the other side, the pitching staff. You go from the top hitting team to the 20th pitching staff and 15th defensive team, and they got a lot of problems there. Because you name me one pitcher in that team that really is you'd want to have on the Dodgers even. I mean, I wouldn't take any of them. that's me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you take one of those variables and they're able to get that corrected, they could end up winning that division.
Oh, they could, but they're not.
And you heard it
that's
straight.
the bottom line.
You heard it right here, folks. Straight from Jorge Mish himself.
Yes.
Well, while we're talking about the American League East, what do you see as a surprise there, other than the Red Sox? What do you see as a surprise?
I still think they're going to win. Baltimore is actually ahead of them, if I'm not mistaken, right now. But I don't. Other than Tillman, I'm not really. I can't depend on Ubaldo Jimenez bringing them home. So they're once again a hitting team with no pitching, and I think they'll miss out. The team that I think is really playing much better is not that division, but Houston is really making
good young
making
team.
them. And I didn't understand because they were so bad at the beginning, but they're kicking. You know what I mean? And I think they'll make the playoffs instead of Baltimore. But that's another division. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about Houston.
Oh, I'm sorry, but the big. I actually have. You don't want to do this where we only have a few minutes, but I think Toronto may be the team goes to the World Series, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the way they finished last year, and then I look at where they are. But isn't this where they were last year around the same time?
Yep.
Yeah. And the pitching isn't dominant, but it's all above average or above average, and I believe in this a lot, but they've only used 6 pitchers so far. They're starting pitchers, and the whole league has used 250. So I like continuity, and although Estrada's out right now, but they're all a little bit above average, and they obviously have the hitting. And Batista's coming back very shortly, so that's it's just I'm winging it for you because I know you don't want me to take Cleveland because that
Cleveland has
would
no
seem,
chance.
That would seem terrible.
So are you saying that obviously Cleveland is exceeding your expectations?
Oh, by far, yeah.
Yes.
Well, this is my opinion about Cleveland. They went to the parade. All those guys marched in the parade, and they were like, wow, we can get one of these. Let's start playing some baseball. If you notice, right after that parade is when they went on that tear. Do you think
Yeah.
that's coincidence?
Well, see, you still don't believe that parade was my birthday, so it has nothing to do with the Cavs. They just happened to be down there. But
All
I do
1.3
agree, yes,
million of them?
No, I don't. Actually, the Lake Erie Monsters are the ones that started it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and
I
they've
believe that.
continued it. So we shall see. But
Yeah,
I
should
mean,
be.
it's people forgetting Texas too. But Texas is
I
actually
like
got
Texas.
the second best record in baseball.
Yeah, and and as well as Houston's playing, they're
Houston, you're saying? Okay, Houston.
well, we're talking about. Well, I mean, you mentioned Texas, and I was just it was my segue to the American League West. Houston, as well as they're playing, they're 5.5 back. But again, this seems to be I keep saying this, but the Angels. All right, last place, 16.5 games back.
Horrible. They're bad on both sides of the ball. It's
Yeah,
horrible.
I mean, is it going to be time finally for a change in the manager there? I mean, he got the GM fired at the second half of last season.
Yep.
And that essentially was, okay, this is finally, quote, his team, although it's always been his team.
Of course, I mean, you got to go some. You got to get new blood in sometime.
Well, the owner's not going to fire himself.
Yeah. So of course you can do that, and I think it's going to happen because Jared Weaver is still probably their lifeline, and that's not good.
Yep.
So they'll. But back to Houston, if I'm not mistaken, aren't they in a? See, I haven't looked at this in the 2 hours. Isn't Houston in a tie for? Are they in the wild card thing yet, or no?
Yeah, they should be right.
Yeah,
up there.
I mean, they're at 48 wins, and I'm just kind of looking through there, and they would certainly be in the wild card run.
48-41.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's once you get in, anything's possible.
Well, absolutely. Just ask the the Royals. I mean, so yeah.
So so right now I have Toronto, Cleveland, Texas, Houston, and Boston,
In Detroit.
and with right now, oh, what the hell? We're going with Cleveland.
What the hell? We go to
What the
Cleveland.
hell?
What the hell? All right. Well, let's go with the National League, near and dear to my heart, and we'll save the best for last. But let's start with the East. Washington and the Mets. Are they going to just kind of run away with this? I mean, Miami seems to
I
be
don't
kind of
have the
hanging
Mets
in there.
running away with any. I got Washington running away with it. Yes, they're
Yeah.
definitely a.
Powerhouse. I mean, between pitching and their offense is just
Well-
Yeah,
unbelievable.
and I mean Harper is supposed to be great, but he's really not doing well. But they have the best pitching staff, the best fielding team, and 13th in offense. So that's good enough for me to make the East.
Yeah, well, you certainly can't discount the Mets pitching staff.
No, but they're also 28th in scoring, which and you really have to score once in a while. You can't pitch shutouts. This isn't Koufax and Drysdale era.
The era of little
very
ball.
well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just don't. Matter of fact, if you go to that, my sleeper is the Miami Marlins, because I really think if they pick up one more pitcher, they could do it. And they have some. And Stanton, who's supposed to be their greatest, is only at 230, but Ozuna, I believe, is his name, 3-something with 17 home runs and 50 RBIs, and they have 5 or 6 guys in the lineup that are hitting 300.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
could be a very intriguing team, but I don't think they'd have to get somebody on a pitching staff, because Kohler to me is not. They need a fourth starter. So
All right. National League Central, I'm praying that, Cub fans haven't already started, jumping onto the third rail of the L yet. But the expectations were awfully high, yet there's 7 games ahead of the
well,
Cardinals.
they were so far ahead.
Yeah. And
Which team is it though? Is it the first part of the team, or the one that's 18 and 21 in their last 39?
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I still have them winning, but I also I can't leave St. Louis out of the playoffs. It's
You never
that's
can.
like a sacrilege.
You never can.
They always make a way.
I mean, that's my 5th team other than Miami, if Miami sneaks in. And how is St. Louis 19 and 26 at home? I don't understand that. And they've only had 5 starting pitchers, so Cubs will. I mean, they have to hang on. That would be the Phillies all over again if they choked. But it is Chicago, so we'll see.
I think that.
Say no more.
Okay, that say no more. Okay,
Yeah.
and let's finish up with the National League West. The team that I fear the most is the San Francisco Giants. And let's just do the quick history. 2010, they win it all. 2011, they don't. 2012, they win it all. 2013, they don't. 2014, they win it all. 2015, they don't. They're about due.
Question marks.
As Bob Euchre would say, that's why, Bill, you're one of the best color commentators in the business.
Well, thank you there, George.
Yes. No, that's my pick. I yelled it at the end of one show a few months ago, and
I
that's
remember.
still my pick to win, and to win the World Series. And the stats don't show that. 12th in batting, 5th in pitching, 9th in fielding. But Bochy has moved into the top tier of managing, and he's
Absolutely. I mean, it's the
Doing well.
team that I mean, as a lifelong Dodger fan, it's not one of my favorite franchises. Great stadium. Kind of a waste on the Giants, but a great stadium. But I absolutely respect the organization and the players, and absolutely Bruce Bochy has just done a phenomenal job, and I think he's the most underrated manager in baseball.
Well, I hope that the Giants don't let the Bay down again. I mean, the Bay's had a rough last couple of months, with the Warriors losing, San Jose losing. So
Did the Warriors lose?
that was the word on the street.
And of course, the
All three-
49ers being an afterthought now.
Well,
Right.
now they got the All-Stars. They got 9 All-Stars on their team, so they should. Although Draymond committed assault in Michigan, by the way,
Yeah, I saw
slapping a
that.
Michigan State player.
Yeah, he was in East Lansing to boot.
Yes, and
Yeah.
plus, but he only gave him a $200 bond, so it must be, it's.
What they
Kind of
didn't
a
mention
celebrity thing.
was that Izzo had the car running, and he was honking on the horn saying, "Get your ass in here!" And then he saw the cameras and he took off.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
At least he didn't do the boot fling, did he? He just slapped him.
I think it was just
No,
like,
no, apparently the guy wasn't holding the family jewel. So no,
Okay.
yeah. But but listen, George. I again, we always thank you for coming on.
Yeah, this has been. I can go to sleep now, and it's beautiful because the convention's coming to Cleveland, and I'm going to hunker in with my Sergeant Rock helmet on from the old days, because I'm scared. I'm not going downtown. If you could pay me, I wouldn't go down there for that.
Might be a rough one.
Whew. So that's it.
Well, listen, man. Well, obviously, we look forward to having you on again, particularly as we get closer to NFL training camp opening up. And then also, and I know that you're hard at work on your college picks, and so we'll begin to dissect that.
And even though Jeff does not have a money on Eastern Michigan, I predict that they will not win the national championship.
I will guarantee that happens.
Yes, I guarantee you. That's as a matter of fact, they're a little bit down the road. How's that?
Yeah, well, I think right in the 100.
120. Well, there's 128.
Yeah, 126.
I'm doing them tomorrow at 124.
That's
So
right.
that's actually an improvement.
Yeah.
So, okay. When you need me, call, and I will talk to you, William and Jeff. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right.
Go Giants.
Yeah,
Said
thanks.
it again.
All right,
Take
that
care.
was George Jorge Mish coming us straight from Cleveland, the prognosticator himself. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a bit about UFC, but we also have clips from an extraordinary interview with Cain Velasquez. We'll be right back. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from WorldwideDigitalBroadcastingCorp.com. Right. We are back for round two of a very busy Monday, a very busy July 11th Monday here at Southern Nevada Sports News, coming to you from the great studios of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corp.com. My name is Bill Miller, along with
Jeff Belknap.
And in case you just woke up, the big news out of sports today was the multi-billion-dollar deal with UFC, $4 billion. This exceeds the value of the Dallas Cowboys, New York Yankees, Real Madrid Soccer Club, Manchester United. An absolutely phenomenal amount of money, and I will comment on that later on. But what we are fortunate to have is thanks to Jim Greishaber, a friend of Southern Nevada Sports News from Jam 7 Multimedia down in Tucson, Arizona. He had a very an excellent interview with UFC's Cain Velasquez, and he has actually shared that with us. So we're going to run that interview right now. Is that ready to rock?
Yes, it is.
All right. Enjoy, folks.
All right, we are back here, cage side seat on Fox Sports 910. It is fight day. It's exciting. UFC 200, the biggest card in the history of MMA, and one of the biggest reasons why, and a very, very, very powerful presence, a good friend, a good person, someone who I've gotten to know over the years through ASU wrestling, and somebody who has really made a mark in the sport of mixed martial arts. Cain Velasquez with me here on the show. And Cain, it's good to have you. It's good to talk to you. It's been a while for you. This is your second fight in almost 3 years, and here you are on the biggest card of all time, UFC 200, and I'm real happy for you to get back out there and get this fight against Travis Browne. How does it feel to be healthy and ready to go?
Feels good. Yeah, just with some of the changes that I've done for this camp has kept me healthy to make this fight against Travis Browne. So I feel like that stuff's working. Me and Daniel Cormier have trained really hard for this card. The best thing for us is to be on the same card, to go into every practice, training against each other, pushing each other through every workout. that's the best thing for me and him. So I'm just, I'm happy to be back. Definitely.
Cain, how healthy are you? Are you 100% for this one?
Yeah, 100%. I definitely had to change a lot of things, with this camp that I hadn't done previously. Before, I'd have the mentality just to go in and just, kind of go 0 to 100 in each practice. So it'd be like, minimal stretching and just no maintenance after, I did something really hard. I was like, if we go in, do hard sparring, after that, I wouldn't really, do the kind of maintenance that you need to do on your body, like get all the knots out, because, fighting 3 times a week with professional fighters, I mean, that definitely takes a toll on your body. And if you're not keeping up the maintenance, then, your body is definitely suffering. So I feel like with the stuff that I've done now has helped me, to get through camp healthy. So I'm happy about that.
Cain Velasquez here on Cage Side Seat. And Cain, when I look at your career, you have some huge wins. I've been cage side and seen them firsthand against Junior Dos Santos, and those were big fights for you. Antonio Silva, just big time win after big time win. You are 2-time champion, but yet here you come into this fight with something to prove against Travis Browne. I know every time you get in the cage you have something to prove, but I almost feel like you're being disrespected a little bit. Do you feel that way, and how do you react to it if that's how you feel?
I don't feel that way. You know what I mean? I'm just happy to be back. This is business. You know what I mean? I have to go out there and just take care of business. I'm not the type of guy to just kind of be like, hey, I want to be on the main event or on the co-main. That's not the type of fighter that I am. I just want to go out there and take care of business. And people that watch me and see me know that that's me, So, in thinking in this fight, Travis Browne, I mean, he's a tough guy. He has a lot of power in his hands. He moves well for heavyweight. He's tall and lengthy, and I just worry about what the task is in front of me, and that's Travis Browne.
Cain Velasquez here on Cage Side Seat. UFC 200 tonight. Order it on pay-per-view. Everybody's going to be watching it. We're in Vegas. It's been an amazing week. The Fan Expo Fight Week. 3 fight nights in a row for the UFC, and it's amazing to be a part of that. And Cain, you're obviously a headliner, and you're a 2-time heavyweight champion, getting ready to face Travis Browne. Obviously, you were supposed to have the rematch against Verdum, and that didn't happen because of injury. But now you have Travis Browne. You touched on him a little bit. Very good striker. He's tall. He's lanky. You fought guys like him before. What do you feel like you have to do to win this one?
It's definitely no secret, with me, always being pretty much the shorter fighter. I mean, I have to go in and close the distance on him, with him being a tall guy, he wants that distance between, me and him, but I have to shorten that, be in his face every time, look for the wrestling if it's there. If it's not, I gotta throw punches and just keep that close distance on them. I mean, that's the key of just this victory, I guess.
Cain, at 33, with the injuries you've had, people are saying you're not as explosive as you once were, and that's a big part of how you fight. The explosiveness on your takedowns, obviously getting in tight on guys and beating them up like you did Junior against the cage for 5 rounds in Houston the last time I saw you in person. Have you lost any of your explosiveness, any of your speed, your power because of your injuries, or are you just as explosive and powerful as you've ever been?
I feel like I haven't lost anything, you know what I mean? I feel like my body can still perform the same, and I feel that in practice. I feel like when I go in and get some surgery done, I feel like I'm 100% afterwards. I feel like the injuries and all the past, surgeries don't affect me anymore. I feel like I'm 100% better. So that's the way I feel now. I feel like I'm still explosive. I feel like I'm still powerful. I feel like I'm still the same fighter. I just need a chance to go out there and prove it. And, with this fight against Travis Browne, I'm going to do that.
Cain Velasquez here on Cage Side Seat, Fox Sports 910. I'm Jim Griesaber, and Kane, when I look at your last fight against Fabricio Verdum, I didn't feel like you were yourself in that fight. But then he loses the belt to Stipe, and obviously he's going to fight Overeem now for the title. Are you thinking about getting that belt back at all? I mean, I know you're focusing on Travis Brown, but you have to have that in your mind that a win here and you're going to get that shot again.
Definitely, yeah. That's always, my goal is to be the top guy, and for sure, number one right now is to take care of, Travis Brown. In doing so, next up would be probably a title shot, but all my focus right now is on this fight versus Travis Brown, and if the UFC believes that I deserve a shot, after this, then that'll be great. That's my ultimate goal, definitely.
How about for a kid from Yuma to be a major part of the biggest card in MMA history? I mean, I know you can't really think about that much, but that's got to be pretty special.
It definitely is. Just being proud of where I came from. Yuma, Arizona. Always repping Arizona in general. I just love to make the people that helped me grow up proud. And I feel like I'm doing so. So just big thanks to everyone in Arizona. I'm gonna keep fighting and winning for them, definitely.
Kane, last one. I wanted to save this one for last because I wanted to focus on your fight, but I know DC's just crushed right now with what happened with Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just talk a little? Have you talked to DC about that, or?
Yeah, definitely. It's tough for him, but again, he's a fighter. He's ready, man. I mean, I feel like he's had one of the best camps he's ever had. I know people say that all the time, this is the best camp I've ever had, blah, blah, blah. But me firsthand, being there, training, with him, competing against him for this fight, he has, this is one of the best camps he's ever had, definitely. And the hard thing for me to watch on the sidelines is to watch DC, cut the weight. You know what I mean? For me, it's easy. I'm ready. I'm fed. I'm not in any discomfort at all. DC is eating such small portions now and everything else, where he's just suffering, on that end, doing everything he can, to make this fight. And when it can't happen versus a guy that he wants, so bad, I mean, that's tough. That's tough for me to watch. I know it's tough for him, but he's ready. He wants an opponent, and this Saturday he will fight.
All right, Cain Velasquez here on Cage Side Seat. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. I could do it for hours. You're the guy who made it from Arizona, and you're the guy who everybody looks up to. You're the guy who, obviously carries that flag with you when you go into the cage every single time. We know how much it means to you. That's rare, I think, in pro sports to have that combination of, a gifted athlete who cares so much about his community and about people. And every time you go in there, we're all pulling for you. So go get that W, and next time we talk, it'll be about that belt.
Awesome. Hey, thank you.
All right, Cain Velasquez here on Cage Side Seat, Fox Sports 910, UFC 200 tonight. Order it on pay-per-view and watch Cain beat Travis Brown.
All right, we are back. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corp.com. My name is Bill Miller, along with
Jeff Belknap.
And it's now to concentrate on prep football. And I'm sorry, these guys are going to be going to college. They have put their prep lives behind, and we are very fortunate to have Vasa Hansel, formerly of Desert Pines High School, and he is on his way to Adams State University. And also C.J. Smith, one of the sons of Big Mac Smith, as you may recall, the defensive coordinator for the Vegas Lions. And, of course, C.J. was part of the last season of the Vegas Lions football team. And he is on his way to Western New Mexico State in Silver City, New Mexico. Congratulations, young man, and thank you very much for taking time. Obviously, these are your last few days before you head out of town, and we really appreciate you being here. I mean, part of Southern Nevada Sports News is, getting prep players, and getting young guys who are, moving up in their selected field to get on here and talk about what's happening. So thank you very much for joining us.
appreciate you having us on here.
All right. And, of course, Mac, always a friend and huge friend of Vegas Lions football. Thank you very much, man.
Well, thanks for having me on again. I really love doing it.
That's all right. So, Vasa, you're a veteran of this, man. We had you on last year in the old studio, which we won't name. And, of course, you were kind of making that decision. You were at that point where, your high school football was over, and you were getting ready to make that decision. And we had talked with Jay Staggs, who is at Adams State, and you made that decision to go to Adams State, and so what's it like, kind of counting down the days? And by the way, we have his family in the studio here, so that they're taping it and keeping us as host in line.
Right on.
So tell us, man. So what are you doing now to kind of get ready to make that move?
I'm doing a lot of working out, contacting a couple of other players that are also going to Adams State from Las Vegas, or getting some workouts in, getting some private sessions in, and just getting prepared for the next level.
All right. Good for you, man. So you've been out to the campus, and do you know where you're going to be living?
Yeah, I'll be staying in Coronado Hall. It's right across the street from Rec Stadium.
Okay.
So I'll be walking distance from campus and football life as well.
All right. Do you have a jacket?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a hat?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah. Think about those things. Remember, you'll get a big coat and a hat cheap here in Vegas,
Right.
Before you get down there where it's absolutely necessary. Here, people look at you like you're crazy, but so keep that in mind. So what was the decision overall in you making that, to make the choice of Adams State?
First and foremost, I had to just talk to God and see where it would really fit in my path. It says God divides your path. So I really just had to sit down, talk with my family, and it was just the right opportunity. The love that they showed me and my family, and the what they saw for my future it wasn't matched by any other college. So that's where I decided to go.
Well, good for you, man. Good for you. Have you thought about a major yet?
Communications.
Communications?
Yes.
Well, all right. Get your game face on, man. Yeah. Well, we may have to have you calling in with after the game to kind of give us a segment and
will
talk
do.
about the game and your experience in college.
We'll do.
All right. CJ, what's up, Blair?
Nothing much.
All right, there's a big smile, man. Yeah, that's it. I was waiting for it. I mean, are you sitting over there kind of serious? I say, did your dad tell you, don't smile, don't grin?
Nah, he's not like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, we first got to know this young man at Big Mac's gym, which is, I'm not kidding you, if you had a good arm, you could air out a throw to where his gym is located adjacent to where the studio is. Mm-hmm. But you were working out with your dad, which obviously is something that he kind of keeps track of. You're the son with the amazing hops, right?
Yes, sir.
I was there that night. That you set the place on fire. I mean, and we'll get to that, but I want to ask you, Western New Mexico State, what was your overall decision in making that move?
I did transfer. I'm actually transferring over there from New Mexico State University. Since I'm actually from New Mexico, so I already know the altitude and the location. I thought it was gonna be a good fit for me. Western New Mexico University is a good fit for me because it's also right next to where my family is.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah,
My
about 2
parents
hours
live in
away.
El Paso. So,
Oh my goodness.
So his
Okay.
grandparents are right there.
Yeah.
So just a good location. The program's awesome. It's up and coming. We do have a couple people from Vegas actually is on the team. So I think it's well fit for me.
Oh well, good man, good. I know that. Excuse me. Go ahead.
You okay, buddy? So we shot some video with the Vegas Lions, and you were able to use that video,
Yes, sir.
which was really cool. I mean, I remember Mac telling me that he sent off some of the video that I shot
He did.
of this young man, and this guy was absolute beasting the secondary and took a couple pick sixes back, and I was lucky enough to get some pretty good shots on it, so that was pretty cool. It's good to hear that that film does stuff for guys. and-
Indeed.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys letting me join the organization to get my film up.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
That's what he was. A lot of these kids are lacking. when they come out of college and they go to a school and it doesn't work out the way they thought it would, and or it goes to a coaching change, they don't have a lot of game film, or a lot of these colleges aren't willing to give up game film when a coaching change takes place. And that was his issue at New Mexico State when the different coaches came in. He couldn't get any practice film or any game film on him. So working with the Lions and what you shot, Jeff, and you shot it with a great quality. And the weight room footage we put together, and we just had colleges coming out the woodwork. He actually got recruited more from the film from the Vegas Lions than he did from his high school film at Arborview. So it really went a long way for him. So definitely.
Well, I'm really
appreciate
glad to hear that.
Awesome.
I mean, that makes it all worthwhile.
Indeed, it does.
I mean, all along, we were trying to do what we could to help these young men, and now to know that you're going to make that step. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Really do it.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Now, Vonsa, you mentioned that there's some local guys that are going to be joining you at Adams State. Did they play with you at Desert Pines, or were they at other schools?
Oh, they were at other schools. Arborview, Cimarron, Cheyenne, and quarterback. They used to play at Bishop Gorman, but transferred to Arizona, but he's from Vegas. So.
Oh, okay.
Wow, okay. I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So Jay Staggs ought to be pretty happy about the latest crop of Vegas kids
Yeah.
going down there, because he's certainly a Vegas lad. Yeah. And but have you said goodbye to your coaches at Desert Pines, or
Yeah, I said
Yeah.
goodbye to them. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, well, they have to be, particularly your coach at Desert Pines.
Hey, Tico.
Yeah, he has certainly done a marvelous job with that school.
Really?
Over the last few years. I mean, indeed. And he has got to be proud to see you and these other players, go off and into these D1, D2 schools and D3 schools.
He's real proud. Yeah, after like the whole change, like you said, having a coaching change is kind of tough, but he took it head on, and a tremendous 30-5 3-year record. you
Wow.
know. 93% of his seniors this year are going to college.
That is fantastic.
That's something I don't even think
Well
Gorman
done.
can compete with. So yeah, he's doing a good job.
That's good.
Yeah.
So the program that you've been working out with the church, you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Champions in Training, we actually just got done with our 10th week. We will be starting it back up 2017. It's a tremendous program, really. It's for any kid, from the little, if you literally come out, you see little pre-Ks, kindergarten kids, and we're just training them up physically, spiritually, and emotionally, mentally, and any physical aspect or any way you can change your game in a way you can become that next level at a young age and keep them with it. It's perfect for any kid. So it's truly helped me for these past 4 years that I've been with it, and I don't know where I'd be without him. So.
All right.
That's testimony there. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Now, CJ, I know that Neil Sase, your dad, is very focused, particularly when he's in the gym, which I found out, and I learned early on. Look, you can talk to these guys later on, but I need to have them, focus. I can appreciate that, but I was there the night that you soared, and I have to talk about this. This was a vertical leap that was absolutely phenomenal, and now. Mac, you've seen this over the years. What is the average to get somebody to say, "Wow"? What is that at?
Pretty much with the high school, when he did it at 18, to have most kids are jumping in an elite athlete are in the 30 to 32 range.
Right.
You might get a few basketball players and stuff that are in the 36, but that's the 1/10 of 1%.
Yeah.
So to have a kid jump 40 inches plus and do a 61-inch box jump at 18, that's legendary. I mean, almost. You know what I mean?
That night, what did you jump? What was that?
It was the 61-inch box jump.
61. That's a standing vertical.
That's a standing vertical onto a
standing
61
vertical
inch
jump.
platform.
You think about that, folks. I mean,
That's
just
5 foot 1 inches.
Yeah.
That's like John's height, isn't it? Sorry, John.
You are jumping over my ex-wife. Standing vertical. Yeah. But that was absolutely, and it was incredible. And a number of us caught that. And we had that on the website, for the longest, because I mean, and there were some guys that were trying to keep up with you.
Your brother was up there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
He
trying to
jumped
keep up.
58.
And then you were you were a man alone.
Got to show out sometimes. I mean, I am the little brother, so I got to show out.
That's right. You are the little brother, aren't
Yes,
you?
sir.
You know you'll always be the little brother.
Yeah.
Right? I've tried to tell that to my youngest son when he complains about his older brother. I said, look, you're always going to be the younger brother.
Right.
So being the younger brother, I just got to be better at him at something. One thing at least. I
Well,
just know that
you
it's
could
jumping.
you had that, you could kind of see what they were doing and then kind of take it from there. So there's certain advantages to being the younger brother.
Yeah, just working out with my dad and my brother since I was 8 years old. I always had that extra edge, like, oh, I need to be better than him. Need to be better than him. And whenever I started playing, football with age groups 2 years older than me, I'm like, I gotta get better than them. So I always had that competitive edge,
Yeah.
always being the youngest.
Yeah, well, it certainly has paid off. Vasa, you've got some siblings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
Okay. Well, we have time. not
can't
20 or
name
30
them all.
minutes. But how many brothers and sisters do you have?
Total, it's about 14.
Wow. So you weren't kidding.
No, yeah, I had a lot.
Yeah,
And they
man.
keep rolling in.
Well, congratulations. Yeah. And to your folks as well. Congratulations. Yeah. That is amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
So you've always had to that competition is always there.
Yeah.
I mean, geez, you had a baseball team,
Yeah, pretty much.
and a starting, and
Started football line.
started. Yeah, there you go.
We got bored. We played basketball against each other.
Oh, yeah, well, you got subs, everything. Yeah. And so this strikes me as an athletic family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're pretty athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were saying soccer. You guys played soccer.
Yeah,
Played softball.
a couple play soccer. The girls are solid in volleyball, and my
Volleyball.
sister's track runner. But I got younger brothers that they actually just went to San Diego for a national tournament and won it. So they did pretty good. They're trying to actually get to Georgia, which is a pretty big leap for them for a couple kids from Vegas. So
Nice.
it's pretty good.
And then you have family in the NFL.
Yeah. I have an uncle that plays for the Bengals, Domata Peko, and I have a cousin Kyle who he went undrafted this year, but he's with the Broncos right now and he's looking pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
His cousin went the second round. My wife's nephew is Kamale Correa.
Oh, nice.
Played at Boise and went to the Ravens. Then he has two other cousins, Kamale's brothers, that had shot the NFL too. And I played in the NFL. So
And you
like
played.
him,
Nice.
yeah, we
Yeah.
have big sports families, and that's good.
So it's definitely something in the
it's in the
DNA.
blood.
Yeah.
It's definitely in the blood,
I'm gonna blame my dad for that one.
I'm
Dad, if you're
Expectations are high
listening,
in those
it's your
families.
fault.
So.
telling you, GMs are willing. This guy, his brother did what? Okay, yeah. Well, we could take a chance.
Right.
His cousin, yeah, all right. Well, we can take a chance.
Yeah, so it's
Well, when you look at McCaffrey's son, what a beast he is for Stanford.
Yeah.
yeah,
Guy's this amazing kid.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
Well, that's excellent. And I have a cousin who is just now kind of going through the process. He's going into his senior year.
Okay.
And he just had some really good camps, and he's been offered a scholarship from Central Missouri State,
Okay.
and also from Howard University.
Oh,
based
right on. Right on.
Yeah, and he's getting ready to go into his senior year in Kansas City. And I keep telling him, enjoy the process.
Yes.
Talk about the process, Hansel. Going into your senior year, that there's a certain amount of buzz, and what is that like?
It can really overwhelm you at times. It's exciting for one, just to be looked at and considered. But senior year, it goes by quick, and honestly, it's kind of tough, because you're a kid, but you're making one of the biggest decisions of your life. So it can be a lot to take in, but with a good support group that I can tell he has, and it'll be good, So it's pretty fun.
All right, CJ, you've been through the process, and and you were at New Mexico State, big D1 school. What was that process like? Just
The first process of coming out of high school, it was a great feeling because I didn't start my junior year, so coming to my senior year, I big old chip on my shoulder, and just trying to ball out and just being looked at, like he said, is just a great feeling. So just carry that that confidence onto the field, and had the opportunity to play at New Mexico State. Unfortunately, things didn't work out then. Having the game film from New Mexico State and the Vegas Lions, again, I had that confidence. Like, oh, I've grown since high school. So being able to send both of those films out to, coaches I was getting recruited out of high school and seeing, I'm getting those offers back and more offers is another fantastic feeling.
That's great.
There has to be something said about somebody waiting to see who's going to pull the trigger and who's going to take the chance and roll the dice on it. Then suddenly it's like, oh, well, it's good enough for. Yeah, and hey, believe me, it's like that with employment as well.
Right.
If you have a job and you're out looking for a job, it's easier to get a job
Right.
if you don't have a job.
Yeah.
You're working,
That is true.
so somebody trusts you.
Right.
Okay, well, come on, just sign right here.
That's right.
And then we go. But you're not working. Why? What are you doing?
Something wrong there.
Yeah. All right. Well, don't call us. We'll call you.
Well, the thing that I see is a lot of the younger players and the D1, D2 players that are getting noticed by the NFL. They're actually looking past a lot of the major schools and looking for not only the athlete for the NFL, but the mentality and the mindset and what else it takes to become an NFL player.
Here.
So it almost doesn't matter anymore what school you're going to as long
Right.
as you're doing it right. What
Right.
the NFL is looking at. So I just take my hat off to you guys and
Thank
just saying ball out, man. We're gonna be watching you guys all along and rooting you on and keeping the show up with everything
Yeah.
that you guys are doing. So
Yeah, and CJ, the same offer, man. We want to hear about your experiences. Pregame, the Monday, before maybe, your very first game. I mean, because there've got to be butterflies. And tell us what it's like, and then, of course, the Monday afterwards, give us a call and then talk about the experience. How you doing?
Most definitely, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, I mean, one of our goals here is to promote, youth football, prep football, and we've got some very good friends, in the high school ranks, and we're trying to expand that. And,
Absolutely.
These are just, two examples of young men who are taking that next step.
It's a
So,
big deal.
yeah. So, CJ, have you scouted out your digs, or are you just going to be bringing your dirty laundry home to your grandparents?
I haven't visited the campus yet, but I know that if I do need my laundry done, my grandma's right next door. So.
All right, and it's funny you should mention that because my cousin, who is Justin's mother, has already nixed Central Missouri State because it's only 30 minutes away from her in Kansas City, and she can just picture him coming home, with his friends, hungry. Oh, we're just in the neighborhood, and oh, Mom, can you do my laundry? And so she's hoping for Howard.
Okay.
That gets into DC.
Yeah.
You gotta make plans to
Right,
come back
right.
And the whole 9 yards.
well, I'm looking at Michigan. I still want to see him get in Michigan. So I'm gonna be
Yeah,
rooting on
I'm
it.
pulling for him big first year, but listen, I'd like to thank you, young men, for coming in.
Thank you.
This has
I
been,
appreciate you having
yeah,
us.
and again, you're always friends of Southern Nevada Sports News. Big Mac,
Thank you.
always a friend. Thank you
All right,
very
it's
much.
always a pleasure.
Folks, join us next Monday. It'll be July 18th. It'll be time for another installment, 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from WorldwideDigitalBroadcastingCorp.com.
God bless.